صباح جميعا. Welcome to the third video and the second workshop tutorial. Starting from where we left off last time, we had the blobs and the triggers, and we still didn't do anything in Kismet yet. So we'll get to that now. But before we do that, I just want to explain how we should think about this. How this puzzle works. Basically, you have three blobs, and in order for I made some changes from the last video. Basically, what it does now is when you go to the teleporter, I added just an interpactor, a static mesh, and I just placed it. You can place whatever static mesh you want as an interpactor. Now, I changed some of the rules. Now, when you go to the teleporter and you don't have all three blobs, it won't do anything. You won't be teleported back to your original location. The objective changed so that you have to bypass this wall here. And when you do have all three blobs, and you go to the teleporter, it will teleport you to here. And then you can go to the next puzzle, which is this door. We'll talk about that later. Alright, so since we have that established, let's get back to how we should think about this puzzle. So how do we let basically the computer know that we have the three blobs? This is a true or false situation here, meaning that we either have all of the blobs or we don't. So the best course of action would be the best thing to do here is to place Boolean variables. Boolean variables are variables which are either true or false. So, and what we should do is that when we go to the blob, meaning the trigger, that trigger should be responsible for one Boolean variable. We should have three Boolean variables, and each trigger will change said Boolean variable's value from false to true if we touch it. And if all three Boolean variables are true, then the teleporter should activate when we get to it. If not all of them are true, if we took two blobs and we go to the teleporter, and it's gonna check all Boolean variables, all three Boolean variables. If they're true, and they're not, because these two are true and this one is false, it's not gonna teleport us. So how do we go about doing that? Basically, we have the just don't mind this. This is in preparation for this tutorial. Basically, from the last video, we had those three triggers. Now, we need to place three Boolean variables first. In order to do that, we need to go to right-click, new variable, Boolean, and we Control-C, copy it two times. So we have three variables. Place them on top of each other. Okay. So, as you noticed, these three variables are false. Now, we need a way to access these variables and change them if this trigger is touched. Fortunately for us, we have that node, which is under the New Actions panel. Okay. Hello. Alright, just checking that the mic is working. Which is under the New Actions panel. Set variable Boolean. You have a number of values you can change your variables. So I'm just gonna place set variable Boolean. Alright, so when this trigger is touched, this set Boolean node will change a target to this value. We should set a value to the value that we need to change it to by right-clicking new Boolean variable, and we need to change it to true. 1. 0 is false, as you can see it's changing, and 1 is true. Basically, to recap, when we touch this trigger, a Boolean variable should be turned to true, and we should instantiate this Boolean variable. And how do we do that? By naming it. We're gonna name them so we can tell them that we should change this. So click on this boolean variable and give it a name. Give it something that makes sense. So I'm gonna name that blob1. Okay. Just see if I have new variables. Item 1, item 2, item 3. Nope. Nope. So just disregard these nodes. Sorry, I know I must be confusing you, but just disregard them. Just doesn't. Alright, I'm gonna name the second variable, which will point to the other blob. You know, it won't point to it, in Kismet or in the game. It's just a logical connection. Blob 2 and blob 3. Right. So the target should be the blob 1. Okay. But I don't want to connect them like that, because if your Kismet starts to get very big and you have hundreds of nodes and some nodes which are far apart, we need to access variables. It's gonna get very messy, and messy as in the lines will be crisscrossing the screen all over the place. So we need a wireless way to connect to this variable, and we have such a thing. It's called a named variable. It's under new variables, named variable. And basically what this does is you just call it what you want to, which you call it the name of the variable you want to instantiate. So if you want to instantiate the first variable, which is blob1, we call it the exact same thing. And you see it turns to a check mark now, meaning that this named variable's only purpose is to point to this blob. So we have a wireless connection. Makes our scripting a lot neater, a lot tighter, a lot more clean. So you can see things. So you can actually not get confused by all the wirings. Okay. So now we have first trigger. When we touch it, it's gonna change the first boolean variable to true. Let's just do that to the other two touch triggers. I just copied them. Control C, Control V, touch, and of course I'm gonna change this named variable to point to the second blob, second boolean variable, and third, respectively. Okay. So, and I want a visual indicator that those blobs are being taken. So I'm gonna destroy those blobs, make them disappear. Fortunately, we have such a node. It's under new action, actor, destroy. Okay, so when the boolean variable is set to true, I want to destroy the blob, and we need to point to that blob because otherwise it's not pointing to anything, basically not telling it what to destroy. You click on the blob, right click on the target, new object file using interpactor 0, second blob, right click on the target, and the third blob, which is here, right click. Alright, so now we have 3 of them pointing out. Okay. So let's give it a test run. See if they're being destroyed. Okay. Weird. Oh yeah. I think I had the camera set. This new. Okay. So I'm gonna set the camera because I changed it last time. Sorry about that. Sorry for any confusion. You just can drop me a message if something confused you or you didn't understand anything. I'll reply it. Alright. Okay, we have the camera. This is the camera that we set up in the earlier video. It's the same exact thing. Same thing. I'm just gonna see why this isn't working. 0. Change the max trigger count to 0. It doesn't make really much of a difference, but I like to set it to 0. Why isn't it getting destroyed? seems that my triggers are pointing. Alright, I'm just gonna change the triggers. Okay. Basically, let's just replace the trigger, right click, new event using trigger 1, touch. Second trigger, right click, new event, touch. Third trigger, make sure that you have the trigger selected, yeah. New event using trigger, touch, boom. Set the max trigger count to 0. Let's give it a try. Alright, it's working now. Somehow my triggers were messed up. Okay. Alright. Now, next step would be put a trigger on the teleporter, of course. Okay, we have a trigger. And now we need a way to basically compare the Boolean variables and see if they're all true. If they're all true, when we touch this trigger, it's first going to compare, and then if they're all true, it's going to teleport us to here. If they're not true, it's not going to do anything. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video and make a part 4. So, catch you next time.